everybody, this is a Lighthouse Hall of Fame film from the Southeast Asia server. It's Raw. It is Pz38nA. He has multiple entries in the Hall of Fame in this tank. We are in Karelia standard mode from the north spawn. One artillery apiece. He's the only light on his team. The enemy team has 2 lights. So basically the same lineup for each tank, other than a disparity with 1 light. 3 heavies, then a bunch of mediums, then TDs with the Ardian lights down toward the bottom. So very equal teams in terms of composition of vehicles. This is going to come down to who plays the best. Nobody can argue that one team had a vehicle advantage on this one. And off he goes toward the north with his platoon mates. Has a few tanks coming in behind him. The Su-85 Bravo's setting up to snipe for what he sees, and he's going to push forward all the way to the middle ramp. This can be a great place to be in assault. Sometimes it can be kind of a trap in standard mode, because if the enemy team takes possession of the donut over here, they can snipe you. In this case, he's sniping them. Tier 4 is not as bad as in the higher tier scouts, because you have a big view advantage, view range advantage, whereas in the higher tiers, the mediums and stuff that move over there where you just saw that guy would be able to spot you back. So, as always, there's things you can get away with doing in tier 4 and sometimes in tier 5 that you can't do in tier 6, 7, and 8. Just because the view ranges are longer, and the enemy team, the non-scouts, have the ability to spot you in many cases, where in these tier 4 fights they can't. So he's looking off to the middle of the map, letting his camo and binoculars kick in to see if he can see anybody hiding down there. And finally, he sees a T-34 down there, moving over to help his team out. Exactly why he's in this position, to try to let people know that if there's help on the way for the enemy. T-67 appears AFK. Oh, now he's waking up, trying to figure out what's shooting him. At least he's smart enough to move. If he was a heavy, he would have sat there and just rotated his turret around looking while he died. This guy hasn't gotten dumb enough to drive heavies yet, so he's in the TD. Be nice if that T-34 was just a little bit more forward, because it allowed him to sneak in behind the rocks, but he's just going, guy's tracked, so he takes him out. That T-67 in the middle got killed, so he didn't have to worry about him sniping him while he took out the T-34. And now he's in a great position to come up here and come in behind these guys. PZ-4 won't be able to shoot him in the back because of this big rock that's going to be right to his rear. So he might get 2 kills out of this. Let's see. Hetzer's definitely kill. Probably the KV-1S is going next. Guy's looking right, coming at him now. Actually, toward him, I think. You just can't see him. One more shot. Bam! Got both of them. Took no damage yet. So why does he go this way? Well, one reason is if there's anybody left down here, they're expecting him to come this way. So if you go directly south at that point, you're going right into the waiting arms of the enemy tanks. so, he pulls around the mountain to the other side, and look what happens. Here comes the M5 after him, and say, whoa, where'd he go? He's not here. I know he was just here a second ago. And now he's switched from becoming hunted to being the hunter. He's waiting on the M5A1 right now. He would like to go after that PZ4. At the same time, the M5A1's up here somewhere. There's nobody between that guy and his cap, so I doubt he's going straight too far away. Maybe he is. Ooh. He wants to take out this medium. If that M5A1, maybe the M5A1 doesn't realize the coast is clear all the way to his cap. The trouble is, there's nobody up there to see him until he starts shooting at the army.
Critical hit.
And the KB-1 is totally camping, not helping at all.
Ready to fire. We didn't penetrate their armor. Enemy armor is damaged. Enemy is hit. I don't see the target. Permission to engage.
The M5A1 is just totally blowing a perfect opportunity to change the fight.
We didn't even scratch them. Enemy armor is hit. We didn't penetrate their armor. Gotcha.
Cool, now off to find the light. He could have been halfway through cap by now. Or at least taken out the army. And somehow, who knows what he's doing up there. Maybe as a playboy or something, he's just hanging out. Three to three. Close fight. 2-3. It's going to be really interesting to see where this light tank turns up at. I wonder if he's still back here hiding. Wherever he is, getting to eavesdrop on the enemy chat may be interesting, because they may be on his case big time for sitting wherever he's sitting at. I bet he's still back up here, unless he's decided to move back to his own base for some reason. He certainly hasn't come across the middle. There's the Stug. Stug has a few seconds to live.
We didn't penetrate their armor.
Hey, there's the Stewart off to the south. He went all the way back around. Amazing. He clearly doesn't want to be involved in the fight.
Ready to fire. Target unlocked. Penetration. Enemy armor is damaged. Permission to engage. Penetration. Let's find another target. They're not
Too slow, Stug. You die. Go home. Now it's light against light, arty against arty. And he's up to 6 kills. Seven kills. Just the arty to go. The that M5A1 basically cost his team the fight because he was worthless all game. He had just a great opportunity to wreak havoc on Raw's team by pushing Cap, and he never did it. He went all the way back around the other way. He didn't even cause any damage, I don't think, till the end of the fight. And as you can see, the M5A1 can cause damage. So to wait that long in the fight to get involved, it's like, man, that condemned his team to a loss, probably. I understand new players being timid because they aren't confident in where to go and what to do. But if you're new at scouting, if you're new to the game, even here in Tier 4s, there's that point that comes before you get too deep into battle where you just have to say, okay, I'm going to chalk the next couple hundred battles up to learning experience, and I'm going to go somewhere where I can help my team. And if it doesn't work, I'll know next time. But if you constantly hang out in the back because you don't know what to do, you're pretty much helping your team lose. It's better to go to try something out and have it not work and lose because of it, but learn, than to sit in the back and do nothing and learn nothing and still lose anyway. Because there you haven't advanced your skills in the game. So the arty's waiting for him from this direction, so he has 3 minutes. He's going to come in and attack from a different angle. And the whole key to what I just said is you have to learn. If 1,000 battles later you still haven't learned anything, then it's been a waste and you probably ought to figure out another game to play. But if you're looking at what you did and you're watching films and reading articles on the net and growing in the basic fundamental skills that you have to grow in, then making mistakes, hey, everybody's made them. Everybody that's good in this game got there by making a lot of mistakes as they were learning. So don't be scared of making mistakes. The worst mistake you can make in any situation, even real life, is to sit back and do nothing. Here we go. Already looking the wrong way. Fortunately, traverses slowly. Not quite slow enough, so he has to back up around the rock. I don't know if he can get 50 meters separation. Oh. Now he has it. He committed to one side. He's dead. And there's the game. He even ends up on Cap. So he gets a little bit of Cap. Even though it's meaningless, he doesn't get points for it. It's just fun to do. For the battle, 1,787 damage, 8 kills. Definitely carried his team. 45 of 63 shooting at 71%. Got 450 spotting damage with 4 spots. Lost 37,794 credits and got 3 big points at Cap because he just pulled onto the Cap circle his time right now. Got, let's see, survived the fight, got a top gun. Also got Bruiser and Fire for Effect mini medals. Was awarded 2,147 XP with the bonuses. He ends up with a battle score 8th place 2,187. And if you watch the Hall of Fame, you're seeing that he's building up a pretty good resume of Pz38nA battles, and in about 3 more films, maybe 4 more films, he is going to put out the number 1 current battle in the PZ38 list. So that'll be something to watch here in a few days. So what he did, with his teammates moving up here, he moved down to this middle ramp initially, and like I said, what you can do in tier 4s you can't always do in tier 7s and 8s, because the medium that he could shoot over here without being seen, had that been in tier 8, it would have spotted him back and the situation would have been a different result. So you can be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more forward with your spotting and shooting in tier 4 than you can at the higher tiers, and that's something you have to keep in mind as you progress up through the scout ranks. As you move up, you have to use a little bit more finesse and discretion with how you play. Tier 4 you can be a lot more aggressive. From here, he pulls up this way and finally gets the path open to come around and take out 2 tanks here. He knows anybody down here is waiting on him to come directly south, so he just pulls around and goes a different way. The M5A1 came up here just to find him, couldn't find him, and then apparently just sat there sucking on his thumb trying to figure out what was going on. Had the perfect path to come all the way up here and really changed the entire fight and never took advantage of it. And in the end, that was a fatal error that caused them to lose, because if he had come up here, been able to take out the arty, potentially been able to spot a couple tanks for his team to take out, he could have totally changed the fight, and he just missed the opportunity because he's inexperienced at scouting, didn't realize what the map was telling him, and he didn't realize that, hey, there's no way anybody can be in between me and Cap. So he failed to open that door, and that let Raw dominate the end of the fight and eventually take out all the remaining tanks and win the fight. So again, there's always lessons to be learned on both sides of the fight. You saw Raw constantly reposition and move in a direction where the enemy would not be just sitting there directly waiting on him to come from. And you also saw the enemy scout fail to recognize a chance to turn the fight in his favor. You have to be aware of the map and what it means. Raw was good at it, the enemy scout wasn't. Raw wins. From Karelia, happy hunting.